Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a historic trip to France. He was the guest of honor for the Bastille Day celebrations. It was a special invite by French President Emmanuel Macron. Indian military contingents took part in the parade. 3 Rafale fighter jets of the Indian Air Force also took part. In the backdrop of the visit, some major defense purchases took place. India's Defence Acquisition Council, or DAC, cleared the purchase of 26 Rafale aircraft and 3 Scorpene submarines from France. The fresh order of 26 Rafales is different. India already operates the Rafale. The Indian Air Force has 36 of them, or 2 squadrons. Now the Indian Navy will also get its hands on the French aircraft. New Delhi has placed an order for the Maritime Rafale variant, also known as Rafale M, where M stands for Marine. These are different from the Rafales currently operated by the Indian Air Force. The Rafale M is a maritime aircraft. It is suitable for undertaking aircraft carrier operations. It can conduct STOBAR operations. STOBAR stands for Short Takeoff but Arrested Recovery. The aircraft can take off from the short airstrip on aircraft carriers. The landing gear of the aircraft is reinforced for this purpose. It is hardened to withstand the short takeoff and landing. A ramp is then used to launch the aircraft overboard the ship. These aircraft will also have to land on the aircraft carrier. This is possible because of arrested recovery. The underbelly of the aircraft sports a hook. Upon landing, the hook engages with cables that are spread out on the aircraft carrier deck. These cables act as additional brakes. The aircraft's momentum is absorbed by the wires, and this is what the Rafale M does differently from its other version. All Rafales are equipped with the ASAR radar. ASAR is short for Active Electronically Scanned Array. This radar helps the pilot to track multiple targets, including targets that emit different frequencies. ASAR is the most advanced and sophisticated military radar in use. Apart from the Indian Air Force, the Indian Navy will also benefit from this technology. Rafale M also comes with a specialized electronic warfare suite. This is used for jamming radars and sensors of ships, confusing them about the whereabouts of the Rafale. To complement the tech, Rafales are equipped with some of the most lethal weapon systems. Rafales for the Indian Air Force have the deadly Meteor missile. The Meteor is an air-to-air missile. It can be fired from beyond the visual range of the pilot. This means pilots can shoot down targets that are really far away, almost more than 100 kilometers. The Meteor is so advanced that the adversary may not be aware when the missile is fired. So the Indian Rafale can fire the missile and head back home safely without the adversary getting a chance to hit back. Because the Meteor gives Rafales an aerial advantage, adversaries will not get a chance for close combat. This is the Rafale's standoff advantage. So will the Maritime Rafales also be equipped with the Meteor? Yes, they will. But the Rafale M will have a dedicated maritime weapons package. It will be equipped with the Exocet missile. The Exocet is an anti-ship missile. It's designed to destroy frigates, destroyers and corvettes. The Exocet can hit naval vessels almost 70 kilometers away. It can be actively guided via radar. Once it has locked onto the target, the pilot need not guide the missile anymore. This means after its initial flight stage, the Exocet is capable of hitting the target without guidance. This is what makes the missile so lethal. And each maritime Rafale can carry 1 Exocet missile at a time. The Indian Air Force and Navy will both operate Rafales. They will also share training modules for the aircraft. Aviators of both the services will be familiar with each other's jets. Currently, only the Indian Air Force has Rafale trainers, or the twin-seater Rafales. These are specially used for pilot training. There are no trainer variants for the Rafale M. Even the French Navy relies on its Air Force to train Rafale pilots. New Delhi has placed an order for 4 more Rafale trainers. This is included in the order for 26 maritime Rafales. These 4 new trainers will have India-specific modifications and will be used for training pilots for the Navy and the Air Force. So, what led India to pick the Rafale for its Navy? The French fighter trumped American and Russian jets. Rafale was up against America's premium fighter jet, the F-18 Super Hornet. Russia's naval MiG-29 variant was also in the run. However, the Indian Navy already operates the MiG-29 and was looking for a more modern jet. The final showdown was between the Rafale and the F-18. The Rafale ultimately won the deal. This is because of a few reasons. The French fighter is larger than the American jet. It can carry a heavier payload, and it'll integrate well with the Indian Air Force, especially during joint maritime missions. History and relations also played a key factor. France has been India's strategic partner for years. The two nations have long-standing diplomatic ties. France was the only Western nation that didn't sanction India after the 1998 nuclear tests. Paris and New Delhi have a history of defense cooperation. India purchased some of its earliest naval fighter jets from France. This was the French-made Elise aircraft. The Elise operated from India's aircraft carrier Vikrant. Elise also took part in many military campaigns. These were the 1961 liberation of the state of Goa and the 1971 India-Pakistan War. During the 1971 war, French-made Elise participated in operations on the Eastern Front, what is now known as Bangladesh. The next major fighter aircraft was the Mirage. This delta-wing jet came to India in the 1980s. It was instrumental in the 1999 Kargil War. The Mirage was used to drop laser-guided bombs. This was the first time India undertook a mission of its kind. Mirage continues to serve in the Indian Air Force. It was the platform of choice for the Balakot strikes in 2019. Another French aircraft has been heavily deployed in India's north. And it's a helicopter, the Aloot, locally known as the Chetak. It has been extensively deployed in the Himalayas, particularly in the Siachen Glacier. These light helicopters have been instrumental in supporting ground forces at high altitudes. History shows that French aircraft have served India well, and the Rafale will continue this legacy. Along with the Rafale M, India has opted for another French-made naval weaponry, the Scorpene submarine. New Delhi will purchase 3 Scorpene submarines. These submarines are part of India's I-75 project. This allows the transfer of technology to India. The Scorpenes will be made in India. This will be done at the Masgaon dockyard in Mumbai. India had previously ordered 6 Scorpenes. 5 of them are currently in service. The Scorpene is an advanced conventional submarine. They can operate without refueling for nearly 50 days. These submarines are stealthy and fast and are great for anti-submarine operations along with long-range strikes. Scorpenes are capable of carrying torpedoes and ballistic missiles. They also have advanced surveillance and tracking mechanisms. India has requested specific modifications to the Scorpene. This includes a new air-independent propulsion system, which will allow the submarine to stay submerged even longer. The Scorpene will boost the Indian Navy's capabilities, and France has a major role to play in it. These defense purchases are a shot in the arm for New Delhi. Rafales are a game changer for India. They will now be deployed on multiple fronts. The jets will serve as a deterrent in the Himalayas and will become the Indian Navy's primary fighter jets. They will be tasked to operate across the Indian Ocean and will act as a force multiplier along with the Scorpenes. France and India are deepening their defense cooperation. The two countries are in talks for a joint fighter jet engine. French aerospace firm Safran and India's Defense Research and Development Organization, or the DRDO, have plans to jointly make a fighter engine. This engine will power India's homegrown fighter jets. Safran will also work with India for helicopter engines, as New Delhi looks to develop its indigenous helicopter program. India considers France as more than just an ally. For New Delhi, Paris is a friend. Apart from military deals, India and France are closer than ever, with Indian Airlines buying Airbus planes in bulk to France opening its markets to India's UPI. The bond between the two nations is getting stronger, marking a new era for New Delhi and Paris.